Calling all authors, the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, hosted by Robert A. Lane, is on the air, featuring everything you need to know about narrating your own audiobook. But it doesn't stop there. From special guests, including authors and professionals from the book industry, to sharing tools and techniques needed to be a confident and compelling narrator. The journey starts now. So please welcome your host, Robert A. Lane.
And glad you're joining me here for this edition of the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. Appreciate you. Really do. Thank you so much. Really, really do. I am an audiobook coach and producer. I do specialize in helping authors turn their books into audiobooks. If you're an author, whether you're a nonfiction author or even a fiction author, you can narrate your own audiobook, as you should, because no one can tell your story better than you. Nope. Nobody, only you, because it's your story. It's your heart and soul and your words. And to express your words in your own voice, you're the number one top candidate to be able to do that. And that's why you narrate your own audiobook. Now, on this episode, I do want to focus on goals as an author. You are an author brand. You have this great product that is out there, which is your book. You have your product available in different formats, like your ebook and your paperback and your hardcover and your audiobook. And it's out there for the world to read, and it's out there for the world to hear. Well, we hope so. If that is part of your plan and those are part of your goals as an author, that's great. I know a lot of people who have made New Year's resolutions. They do that every year. But, it's funny. I kind of look at it as New Year's resolutions are made to be broken, because it just seems like people don't stick to them. Some don't last very long. Some people may be able to stick to their New Year's resolutions for a month or two, or maybe longer. Maybe it's only a small percentage that actually follow through. Now, as an author, but what I suggest, and it's not just New Year's resolutions, it's any kind of resolution. Instead of creating a resolution, why don't you create a goal, a plan, a strategy, a marketing strategy, a business strategy? Because you are a business. Remember, don't forget, you are an entrepreneur. You've written and published a book. You are the brand. Your products are your book, or books, plural, if you have more than one. And those different formats that I mentioned earlier are what you present to the public. So as a business person, you want to put out the best product that's out there. You want it to be top notch. You want to be able to grab your book and say, hey, here's my book. This, whether it's self-published or you did traditional publishing or hybrid publishing or whatever you did, you cannot tell the difference between self-published book versus a traditionally published book. That's quality, and that's good. And that's how you should always approach your business, because you want to do it at the highest quality possible. But I do want to talk about goals, setting goals. Now, is an audiobook part of your marketing strategy? Is that part of your goals? It needs to be. It needs to be. The audiobook world has been growing and expanding, oh my gosh, for several years, easily. And I'm telling you, more and more people are going to get audiobooks first before they look at other formats that the author may have to offer. And I hear it all the time. People are like, hey man, are you on Audible? I want to grab your book. I got an Audible account. Or hey man, I went to Barnes & Noble's website and I wanted to download your audiobook. Or are you on Apple Books? Or can just go to Amazon and get your book there, get your audiobook there. People ask for that all the time, and they go for audiobooks first before they go to the other formats. And then if they are enjoying what they are hearing, and this is becoming a common practice, is where people will actually purchase another format of your book, whether it's an ebook or a paperback. I do that. I like doing that. I'll listen to an audiobook and then I follow along in the book, especially if it's something that's very informational, or a self-help book, or a coaching book, or something like that. Even memoirs, people who tell stories but have some really great information in there. I grab that highlighter and I'm highlighting in that paperback as I listen to the audiobook, because I'm like, wow, that's really great. And you know what's really awesome and what takes your audiobook from just being average to being fan-frickin-tastic? That is when you narrate it yourself. I love hearing the author telling their story. This is why I do what I do as an audiobook coach and producer, helping you as an author record and narrate your own audiobook. Love doing it because you have what it takes to do a great audiobook narration. You have what it takes. You really do. You got to believe in yourself. But we're going to focus on goals. I can spend hours talking about building confidence and loving your voice, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to talk about goals. So I know you hear a lot of people say, well, what's your goal? What's your yearly goal? Where do you want to be in a year? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes those questions seem a little annoying, honestly, because it's like 10 years from now, I don't know. I'm probably going to be retired by that time. But so let's scale it back. All right, let's not scale it back to 5. Let's not scale it back to 1 year. Let's scale it back to 6 months. Create a 6-month goal, especially when it comes to creating your audiobook, because you can do it. And think of it this way, all right? Think of it this way. Your audiobook, 6 months from now, either you can have it done, or you're going to still be thinking about it. Or you're going to be holding that published book, or seeing it there on Audible or wherever you have your audiobook distributed. Are you going to think about it, or are you going to do it? All right. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. There's that scene in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where Tuco, played by Eli Wallach, is taking a bath and in this blown up hotel, and this other guy, character who he had shot at the beginning of the movie, tracks him down, and he's like, and here's Tuco sitting in the tub, and here comes this guy with a gun pointed at him, and he's like, you're exactly where I want you to be. I've been looking for you for the last 8 months or whatever it is. And he's going on and on and on. So then Tuco, he has his gun on him in the tub, but you can't see it because it's a bubble bath. He just pulls it out and shoots the guy. And he gets up, he goes, hey, if you're going to shoot, don't talk. Great scene. And I've seen other movies steal that same concept in their movies. The point is, of course, is not sitting around talking about it. Do it. If you're going to do it, do it. Okay. So let's talk about a 6-month plan to getting your audiobook out there. All right. Let's think about that. First of all, you want to set a non-negotiable goal. Okay. My audiobook will be published by June, by April, by whatever time. Okay. Now, don't say I'm going to record, narrate, and publish my audiobook in 1 week. Now that's being unrealistic, because that is not it's an unrealistic goal. It's an unrealistic goal, because if you're going to try to power through an audiobook like that, especially if you're narrating it, it ain't going to sound so good. And don't think about just running it through some AI, because if you're thinking about that, you're cutting corners. You're cutting the quality and value of your product, which you don't want to do, because that product represents you, the author brand. And you are sucking the life and the soul out of that narration, because it's computer-generated audio. It is not a human voice, and there are subtleties and aspects of the human voice that the AI is not able to represent, or they cannot replicate. And it may technically sound fine, but emotionally and energetically, it's missing. And it's not you, okay? It's not you. So that's a bad representation. Don't even think about that. So when you narrate your own audiobook, make that decision. I'm going to narrate my own audiobook. All right, I love it. That's a great decision. Okay, so remember, this is it's a process. Okay, my audiobook coaching program, which is called Your Book, Your Voice. I have 2 versions of it. One is the DIY version, which I designed it for you to be able to, if you're focused and you keep yourself accountable, you could probably get it done between 6 to 8 weeks. My VIP program is I give my authors a little more time, but I work with you on a one-on-one basis, and we work together, meeting every week. I'm your accountability partner. I do all the editing and uploading and all that stuff for you, teach you how to do a great narration. There's that aspect of it, and that is a 12-week program. So whatever your timeline is, make sure you're giving yourself a good timeline, something that is realistic. Okay. So in your first month, you should have everything figured out. You got your book, you got the equipment. Within the first month or two, you should have your equipment, right? You want to be prepared. If you want to record in your own space, like I do have the authors who go through my audiobook coaching program, I have them record in their own recording space. I provide them with the equipment they need. That's part of the program for the VIPs, of course. If you need equipment, actually, there's links in the description here on LinkedIn and YouTube, and also on any of the other podcast platforms that you're listening to this podcast on. Check out the description. If you need equipment, I have some really good, high quality stuff that this is what I send to my clients. Order it up, order it up. But set up your own recording space. Give yourself time to do it and to do it right. Find a quiet space. Make sure there's no distractions. Make sure it's comfortable and that everything sounds good, and test your equipment and make sure you have a good program that you're recording your equipment, your audiobook on. There's a variety of programs to do it on. Audacity is a very popular one. You can use that and get yourself all set up. All right. You can have that done and ready to go within the first month, and then map out your book. When you record your audiobook, okay, when you're recording your audiobook, you're doing it in sections. All right. For example, my book, I have 14 chapters in this book, and that's 14 different audio files right there. Okay. That's how you divide it up. That's how you record it. Then there's opening credits, closing credits, prologue, epilogue, introduction, forward, afterward, acknowledgments, dedication. All these different pieces of your book are separate audio files, and that's how you record it. Now, the big piece of advice that I give to my authors who go through the audiobook coaching program is just to do it in linear fashion, just because that's how you wrote the book and that's how it makes sense to you, storyline wise, especially if it's a memoir, and record it that way. Okay. And give yourself enough time. This is your 6-month goal. All right. And just do it. And remember, when you're recording, cut yourself some slack. Okay. Number one, practice. All right. Practice narrating your audiobook. Practice whatever section of the book that you're going to work on. Practice it. If you're going to record chapter 1, practice chapter 1. Read it out loud. Get comfortable with it. Refamiliarize yourself with your book. And then record it. Do a couple sample recordings. See how you sound. See how it feels. Play it back and listen to yourself. All right. This is where you have to love your voice. Okay. Listen to yourself. See how it feels energetically. Are you getting the story across? Is the content of the story that you're telling, is it engaging? Does it seem engaging? Does it sound interesting to you? If it does, great. You're on the right track. Now you're ready to record. So then just start doing it a piece at a time and dedicate it. Again, like I mentioned about having a non-negotiable goal that you want to reach timeline-wise. My audiobook will be completed on such and such date. Well, while you're recording your audiobook, you have to also carve out non-negotiable time to record. So if something comes up, guess what? That's going to have to work around your audiobook recording schedule. If you feel great at the end of the day, it's like, I'm relaxed, I'm home from work, I'm going to record my audiobook from 6 to 8 p.m. Awesome. Lock that time in. Maybe you do that 5 days a week. Maybe you do it 7 days a week. But that time is locked in. So if something comes up, guess what? It's going to have to work around that time period. It just has to. So you got to hold yourself accountable and do the work and make sure that that time is non-negotiable. Okay? Simple. Now, the other thing that you want to do is you want to start marketing. Start marketing. Do maybe some soft marketing. All right? Some of that can include doing a lot of behind the scenes posting reels and clips on social media of you recording your audiobook, reading a paragraph or a chapter, and then you can say, "Hey, man, I'm doing it. I'm turning my book into an audiobook." And you're going to hear some really great stories as as I narrate it and tell my story. And you just do a lot of PR from behind the scenes because people love that. Okay. And then when you're getting close to finishing your audiobook, you do want to have a pre-launch strategy, an actual launch strategy when the book becomes published, and then a post-launch strategy as well when it comes to marketing and promoting your audiobook. And again, you can get this all done. Like I said, my audiobook coaching program is 12 weeks. So that's 3 months. I'm giving you a 6-month plan, but you can get this done in 3 months, and then you're good, right? So again, let's just go over some of the things. Those are the things that you need to do. How you do it is simple. All right. So you can't say, when I said about setting a date for your audiobook, non-negotiable, be specific. Don't say sometime this year. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay. It doesn't work. And then set that goal. A lot of people like to reverse engineer things. So basically you say, okay, on June 1st, let's say, is when I'm going to publish my audiobook. It's out in the world. All right. So right now it is, January, let's say. Okay. So you got 6 months. So let's back that up. When do you want to have the book recorded and edited? So that means all the editing has to be done. All the uploading has to be done. If you're publishing on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, you have to go through ACX, which is the company that uploads and publishes your audiobook on those platforms. All right, it takes them a minimum of 10 days, roughly. Sometimes it's a little longer, sometimes it's not. But give yourself roughly 10 days before they publish your book. And I would think of that as 10 working days, okay? So, okay, you got to reverse engineer that. So 10 days at least, or give yourself 2 weeks before your publishing date. That's when I have to have my audio files uploaded for publication. All right. Now, editing is going to take time. So that is a big chunk of the audiobook creation process. And you're going to have to give an editor, if you're not editing yourself, you're going to have to give your editor plenty of time to go through your audiobook. Little piece of advice. If you go to an editor or some company who says, "Oh, we'll clean up your audio and make it great," and let's say your book is 300 pages or whatever, and your audiobook, all your audio files come to a total of maybe 8 hours, or maybe your book is a 10-hour audiobook. Okay. If they're going to go in and just say, "Oh, we'll clean it up and we'll have it back to you in a couple hours," that's a red flag. The reason being is that they're not listening to your audiobook. They are actually just running it through some restoration program or whatever to clean it up. But the problem with that is that you're going to miss some things that they're not going to be caught. Mispronounced words, or even a slurred word, it's going to be missed. Pacing is going to be missed. They're just doing a cleanup job without listening to it, okay? When I edit the audiobooks for my clients, I listen to everything in real time. Yes, it takes more time, but that's the way to do it, and that's the way to do it right. Because I want to guarantee that my clients, their audiobook sounds fantastic, and I want to give it the attention it deserves and the quality that it deserves. So I will go through it in real time. If I hear a mouth noise that I find distracting, I will cut it out. I'm not just going to rely on some restoration program. And I do run it through a lot of cleanup as well. Get rid of excess echoing and reverb and anything else. Make sure the EQ sounds good, so the voice sounds really good. And then go through it step by step, right? I listen to it in real time. If you have a 10-hour audiobook, guess what? I'm listening to all 10 hours. So, which means I will probably spend about 90 to 100 hours worth of editing time, just editing. But that's what you do. You do it right, okay? And what I do for my clients, by the way, in the VIP program is that I do upload the audio for them so that they don't have to worry about that whole process, getting it into Audible, Amazon, Apple, and any other distribution platform. If there are any rejections, I know about it. I know how to fix them. I've output new files, make sure everything is done, and you will be published correctly the first time. But that is what a real editor, a good editor, I should say, needs to do. Spend the time so that they're giving you exactly what you need and exactly what you deserve. The best product that you can put out there, okay? All right. So again, just make sure that you set goals. If you're setting yourself goals for your author brand, make sure you're including the audiobook as part of your goals, because that audiobook is a crucial part of your products. It's a great, I was going to say part of the arsenal of products. I say that a lot, but it's a great part of what you offer to the people who are now fans of you, and they're fans of your book. And here's the other thing to keep in mind. If you have a book that you've published several years ago and it's not an audiobook, turn it into an audiobook. You can relaunch your book, get it back into the forefront of the people that you want to expose it to. And then they'll hear you narrate your own story. And there's nothing better than hearing the author tell their story. It's your perspective. You lived it, you breathed it, you experienced it. No one can replace that. There are subtleties. There are nuances about how you speak and how you communicate and how you tell your story that only you have. And what's great about that is that it allows you to stand out in the crowd, because that's what makes you so unique. And that, again, is part of your author brand. Remember that. You are a brand. Everything that encompasses who you are, voice included, very crucial part of that author brand. That's what makes it. That's what creates your author brand. Your personality, your sense of humor, your goals, your values, your belief systems, your morals, whatever makes you you. And your voice is what makes you you. And again, that's what allows you to stand out in the crowd. You know, if you're in a saturated market, let's say you wrote a book about weight loss, or you write a book about growing up with trauma or depression, or maybe you wrote a book about relationships or whatever. What makes you stand out in the crowd is because it's you. It's your uniqueness. And that's why it's so crucial for you to narrate your own audiobook, because that's part of who you are, and that is part of that uniqueness that is you. Honestly, there isn't really anybody. There's no one else in this world that is you. You know, we all have our doppelgangers, right? But it's still not you. It's still not your personality. So narrating your own audiobook is so crucial. Plus, the other thing is you are leaving a legacy. And I love this part of it. It's not just you leaving your book in written form for people to discover. They can hear you tell your story from first person, from the person who lived it and experienced it. That's such a great thing. That's why narrators are great, but that's one aspect that there's a disconnect, because they're not able to really express what you felt. They can think or interpret it, but it may not be how you experienced it. It's a disconnect. They didn't live what you lived. Only you did. And that's why, again, technically, sure, they'll sound great, but from an emotional standpoint, they didn't live your experience. So there will be a disconnect. That's why you narrate your own audiobook. All right. It's one of the many, many reasons. All right. So again, the whole point is having a plan, having a goal, and make sure your author goals, whether it's 6 months or a year, or maybe you do the 5-year plan. Why not? If you can lay everything out and what you want to do with your author brand and how many books you're going to write and how many books you're going to turn into audiobooks, et cetera, make sure you include audiobooks as part of your marketing strategy. It's super important. Okay. If you want help turning your book into an audiobook, reach out to me. I keep putting the podcast thing out there. Reach out to me. Go to my website at robertlanecoaching.com. Check out the links in the description. There are links there. I have links to the VIP program, which gives you more information about how that works. Would love to work with you and help you turn your book into an audiobook. We can get that done in 12 weeks. Or there's the DIY program if you want to do it yourself. Okay, go for it, because you can. You really can, and I teach you how. All right, and then, but most importantly, you know what? Schedule a call with me. Book a call. That link is in the description as well. It goes to my personal calendar. Let's have a meeting. Let's talk about your book, what you want to do with it, your goals. I'll give you more details about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. Let's do it, right? 6 months from now, you don't want to be thinking about it. You want to have it published and out there, right? Don't talk, just shoot. Just like the movie. Get out there and do it. Don't talk about it, do it. Invest in yourself, invest in your author brand. That's one of the greatest things that you can do to move your business forward. And I'm going to throw out that catchphrase. You are the CEO of you. You're the boss of you. The buck stops with you. This is your business. You are an entrepreneur. Do things to enhance your business. And one of the greatest things you can do is turning your book into an audiobook. Hands down. All right. So reach out to me. Again, links in the description. I do appreciate you booking a call, and let's have a conversation. If the program that I teach works for you, we'll get you enrolled right away. If it doesn't resonate with you, no problem. If you want to do DIY it, no problem. If you want to do the VIP, no problem. It isn't a problem at all. Oh, by the way, on the website, if you scroll down on the homepage, I have clips of some other authors that have gone through my audiobook coaching program, and you can hear how they sounded with their narration. And you know what? They're not professional speakers, but they sound fantastic. And you will too. So do it. Get on it. All right, my friends, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. I do appreciate you. My last assignment, as always, is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, all right? Say hello to them. Because that small gesture of kindness can make the world a difference in somebody's life. So be a life changer. Let's spread more positivity in this world, because we sure need it. All right, thank you so much. I'm Robert A. Lane. Go to robertlanecoaching.com to find out more about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. Again, check out the links. I do appreciate you. If there's any topics you want me to talk about regarding the audiobook world, let me know. Reach out to me. All right, love to hear from you. Okay, my friends, we'll say goodbye to our... never mind. I take that back. I say that when I do my coffee chats because I'm on all different platforms, but this is the podcast. So anyway... Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate you. You have a great week. We'll be talking to you soon.
This has been Your Book, Your Voice with host Robert A. Lane. Tune in each week for another powerful and informative episode. And remember, only you can narrate your story the way it's meant to be heard.